I have been hearing plenty of chatter around the Indiana Farm Bureau Football Center, and it is clear the front office is not standing still this offseason. From unexpected developmental gambles to high-stakes trade whispers that have the entire league buzzing, the landscape for the Indianapolis Colts is shifting right under our feet. We are looking at a roster undergoing a fascinating transformation, one that balances raw athletic potential with veteran defensive experience. Stick with me as we break down every angle of these developments, because the ripple effects here are going to be felt all season long. The Indianapolis Colts have officially added an intriguing project to their tight end depth chart by signing Carson Tout. This move represents a classic high-upside gamble that Chris Ballard has become known for in his tenure as general manager. At 6'1", Carson Tout brings a background in basketball from the University of Notre Dame, a profile that NFL scouts often covet when looking for developmental prospects who possess the verticality and spatial awareness necessary to succeed in modern passing attacks. When you look at the physical metrics, Carson Tout is clearly a player who can be molded. The transition from the hardwood to the gridiron is notoriously difficult, yet the history of the league is littered with basketball players who successfully leveraged their rebounding instincts and soft hands to become effective red zone targets. The Colts are betting that his raw athletic ceiling is worth the investment of a roster spot and the time required to teach him the nuances of route running at the professional level. From a tactical standpoint, adding a player with this specific athletic profile suggests that the coaching staff is looking for ways to create mismatches in the middle of the field. In today's NFL, defensive coordinators are increasingly relying on nickel and dime packages to combat speed, leaving traditional linebackers at a disadvantage against versatile tight ends. If Carson Tout can grasp the mental side of the game, his ability to box out defenders and high-point the football could make him a nightmare for defensive backs in the red zone. This signing also speaks to the broader philosophy of the organization regarding roster construction. By scouting outside the traditional college football pipeline, the front office is casting a wider net to find players who may have been overlooked or who possess raw physical traits that cannot be taught. It is a low-risk, high-reward move that could pay dividends if he shows growth during rookie minicamp and training camp. The competition at the tight end position is already fierce, and adding a wild card like Carson Tout forces the incumbents to stay sharp. We have to consider how he fits into the broader offensive scheme under Shane Steichen. The offense places a high premium on tight ends who can not only block in the run game, but also act as reliable outlets for the quarterback. While the blocking aspect will likely be the steepest learning curve for him, the team is clearly prioritizing his potential as a receiving weapon first. The locker room culture in Indianapolis is built on accountability and hard work, and it will be interesting to see how he acclimates to the grind of an NFL offseason. As we look at the trajectory of this position group, it is clear that the team is not satisfied with the status quo and is actively searching for dynamic players who can elevate the offense. Whether this turns into a long-term contribution or just a training camp look remains to be seen, but it is a fascinating development that highlights the team's commitment to finding talent in unconventional places. But that is not the only situation developing right now, as rumors are beginning to swirl around a much bigger name on this roster.
If you are enjoying these deep dives into the latest Colts news, make sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps this coverage going as we pivot to the biggest headline of the week. With reports out of Sports Illustrated suggesting that teams in the NFC North are monitoring his situation closely. When a player of this caliber is even mentioned in trade rumors, it naturally sets off alarm bells for the fan base. Anthony Richardson Sr. represents the future of this franchise, and any suggestion that he could be on the move is bound to create significant tension. However, in the business of the NFL, every player is technically an asset, and front offices are mandated to listen when the phone rings. The analysis here requires a nuanced look at what a trade would actually signify. If the organization were to entertain offers, it would represent a total pivot in their strategic direction. Anthony Richardson Sr. is a rare physical specimen with a skill set that is tailor-made for the modern quarterback-driven league. His ability to extend plays and threaten defenses with both his arm and his legs is exactly what coaches dream of when designing an offense. To move on from such a player would be a monumental decision that would require a massive haul of draft capital in return. We have to consider the perspective of the front office. They are in the business of winning now, and they are constantly evaluating whether their current pieces provide the best path to a championship. Rumors like this often surface during the quiet periods of the offseason, when speculation fills the void left by the lack of live action. It is entirely possible that this is just noise, but where there is smoke, there is often fire. If an NFC North team is truly interested, they are likely looking at his immense upside and betting that they can provide the environment necessary for him to hit his ceiling. From the perspective of the Indianapolis Colts, they would need to be absolutely certain that they have a viable replacement or a plan to rebuild the entire identity of the team if they were to move him. The locker room impact of such a trade cannot be overstated, would send a massive message to the rest of the roster. Players want to know that the organization is committed to winning and to the individuals they have brought in to lead them. Furthermore, the financial implications would be staggering. We would be looking at massive dead cap hits and the need to completely restructure the salary cap strategy to accommodate a new era under center. This is the kind of rumor that tests the resolve of a fan base. It forces us to ask ourselves if we are truly seeing the full picture or if we are being caught up in the hyperbole of the offseason rumor mill. Regardless of the veracity of these claims, the mere fact that his name is being linked to trade discussions is a testament to the league-wide recognition of his talent. He is a player who shifts the betting odds just by being on the field. As we continue to monitor this situation, keep in mind that the front office holds all the cards. They are the ones who have the internal evaluations, the medical reports, and the long-term vision. Until we hear something definitive from the organization itself, we have to treat this as what it is: speculation. Yet the fact remains that in the NFL, the impossible becomes possible every single offseason. We will stay close to this story as it develops, because if there is any truth to these whispers, we are looking at the potential for a seismic shift in the league landscape. It is not just about the quarterback position, however, as the team continues to make moves to shore up other areas of the roster.
In a move that brings immediate experience and scheme familiarity to the secondary, the Indianapolis Colts have officially signed free agent cornerback Cam Taylor-Britt. This is a savvy addition, especially given his previous tenure under current defensive coordinator Lou Anarumo. Bringing in a player who already speaks the language of the defensive scheme is an underrated advantage for any coaching staff. Cam Taylor-Britt has demonstrated throughout his career that he has the instincts and the competitive fire to play at a high level in a press-man system. At 26, he is entering the prime of his career, and his acquisition provides the team with a reliable veteran presence that can mentor the younger defensive backs while simultaneously contributing on the field. The secondary has been a point of emphasis for this organization, and Cam Taylor-Britt fits the profile of the aggressive, ball-hawking defender that the coaching staff prefers. His familiarity with the defensive philosophy of Lou Anarumo means he should be able to hit the ground running, which is critical in an era where the offseason program is condensed. When we look at his tape, Cam Taylor-Britt shows a knack for closing space quickly and a willingness to get involved in run support, which is a non-negotiable trait for cornerbacks in this system. This signing also has significant implications for the depth chart. By adding a proven starter-level talent, the team is creating a more competitive environment in the defensive backfield. Depth in the secondary is the primary defense against the high-flying passing attacks that now dominate the league. If the team suffers injuries, they now have a fallback option who is not just a body, but a player with genuine professional experience and a grasp of the playbook. From a financial perspective, this deal is likely structured to give the team flexibility while rewarding the player for his reliability. It is a win-win scenario that demonstrates the organization's commitment to building a well-rounded roster that does not have glaring weaknesses. The chemistry between a defensive coordinator and his players is often the secret ingredient to a top-tier defense, and the reunion with Lou Anarumo is a clear indicator that the team is prioritizing synergy. Fans should be excited about the tenacity Cam Taylor-Britt brings to the unit. He is not the type of player to take a play off, and that kind of intensity is infectious. As the team looks to improve their standing in the division, having a solidified secondary will be key to limiting big plays and forcing teams to drive the length of the field. This move is a clear signal that the front office is not content to just coast. They are actively looking to improve every facet of the team. As we look at the defensive backfield, the rotation is becoming increasingly complex, which is exactly what a modern defensive coordinator needs to keep opposing quarterbacks off balance. It is a tactical upgrade that strengthens the entire defensive unit.
It has been an incredibly busy news cycle for the Indianapolis Colts, ranging from developmental signings like Carson Tout to the immediate impact of bringing in a veteran like Cam Taylor-Britt. But of course, the conversation keeps coming back to the rumors surrounding Anthony Richardson Sr. and whether a move in the NFC North is truly a possibility or just pure offseason speculation. I want to hear from you. Do you believe the team is actually considering a trade, or is this just noise designed to stir up headlines? Drop a comment below and let me know your take. Do not forget to like this video and subscribe for more exclusive Colts updates. See you next time.